When you tell me that you miss me, do you mean it? Always talking about the same thing, but I need to see it.
My name is Chase Easterling, and today I'm going to be talking about my journey to become a cross-country and track Division I athlete. Now, basically any Division I athlete, actually probably any athlete that has a YouTube channel, has probably made some sort of video like this, titled something around the lines of how I became a Division I athlete, and I'm basically going to be original and do the same exact thing as them and talk about kind of my journey and how I become a Division I cross-country and track runner. So basically we'll start out in high school, freshman year of high school, was on the cross-country team as well as playing soccer, and my goal basically freshman through probably junior year was that I wanted to play college soccer, but as you can tell by kind of the way I look, I am around 6 foot tall and 135 to 30 pounds, and I am not built to play college soccer at all, especially at the Division I level. And so I decided, my junior year, I was getting I was basically average at both sports, and I kind of wanted to be great at one of the sports, so I decided that I was going to quit soccer. I had been playing soccer probably since I was around 7 years old, and played select soccer a ton, spent a lot of money on soccer, and ended up quitting my junior year after my junior year of cross country and soccer, just basically because I was disappointed in how that cross country season went for me. So I wanted to be really good at cross country. So junior year, the winter of junior year, going into track season, I decided, I was going to put all my eggs into this running basket, and I wanted to get really good at it. So I started running a ton, and it became natural to me that I was a really high mileage runner. So I was running probably around 65 miles a week, my first training cycle, I guess you could say. And I turned some pretty good times during track season. I went from actually a 10:52 mile to a 9:58, and a 4:55 miler to a 4:35 miler. And then senior cross country season came around. My summer going into my senior year, I peaked at around 70 miles a week in the summer, and I dropped from a 17 flat 5K to a 15:59 5K. Became the first ever district champ in my school history, first ever Division I state qualifier in my school history, finished 32nd at the Ohio State meet in cross country, and really just had a lot of success. And then track season came around. I went from a 205 800 guy to a 158 800 guy, 158 in the 4x8. If we're talking the open 8, I ran 159 1. And then in the mile, I went from 435 to 422. And in the 2 mile, I went from 958 to a 931. And also I ran a road 5K after track season and ran 14:58. So at the end of my high school career, I was the school record holder in the 5K, 3200, 1600, and almost the 4x8, but I didn't get the 4x8, which is unfortunate. But now we'll kind of go into college recruiting, stuff like that, and how I got into all of that. So basically, I didn't really get a whole lot of looks up until the end of my cross-country season, senior year. Junior year, I went on a few visits to some tiny D2 schools, those being IUP, Slippery Rock, both in Pennsylvania, and started emailing a ton of schools my junior track season just because I saw a little bit of success in track season and thought that would get some attention of some schools. Didn't really hear back from a lot of schools at all, but did hear back from a couple of Division II schools, and I reached out to them. We talked for a little bit, had some visits, and then cross country season came around, and I saw a ton of success in cross country. I was just interrupted on a phone call, but we'll kind of pick back up by where I was. Cross country season, saw a lot of success there, and this is when I really started to reach out to different coaches and email a lot of different coaches. A lot of Division I schools at that, just because, I saw a lot of success and I felt like I could be a Division I athlete. So that's what I started doing at the end of cross country season. Unfortunately, my track times kind of pulled them away because at the time I was still that 435 miler and 958 2 miler, which aren't the best times in the world, especially when you're looking at Division I schools. But here's where the University of Akron, where if you did not know, is where I will be attending coming this fall, reached out to me. Actually, I reached out to them, and then they emailed me back after kind of towards the later part of my cross country season, and then at the state meet, after the state meet, I talked to their coach a little bit, and then I went on a visit right after the end of cross country and really fell in love with the place. Love the guys, love the coach. The facilities are amazing there. And, right when I went up there, I knew this is where I wanted to spend the next 4 to 5 years of my, running career, if you want to call it that. But that is really where I wanted to spend, my studies and my athletic career. So about a week after, actually, I decided to commit to the University of Akron, which was great. It was a big celebration for me, coming from a guy that a year ago previously was a 17-minute 5K guy to now I'm a Division I cross country and track runner, which was great. But that is basically kind of how my journey went. It honestly was kind of a little bit out of the norm. A lot of your guys will be running, great times up until, senior year. They'll start running good times, sophomore year or something like that. But I am telling you now that if you are not at the point you want to be, if you're not that top caliber athlete yet, you always have time. Senior year can roll around and everything can change. That's how it was for me. But that is basically kind of my journey wrapped up there. If I was to give anyone tips, it would be, to not wait. I was a type of person that thought they were going to reach out to me, and that's not how it works. You definitely need to go out and email coaches yourself. Let them know you're interested, and if they like what they see, they'll email you back. And also, don't get discouraged if coaches don't email you back. I literally have over like 20 schools that didn't even email me back, weren't interested in me. That is fine. Move on. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, that is basically it for this little video. Just rambling on about how I became a Division I athlete. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in future videos.